evening and welcome. Tonight, horrifying day for Petition as a suicide bomber kills 5 people at the Bulala Motor Park in Yobe State. Nigerians in the United Kingdom demand military assistance in the fight against Boko Haram. National Human Rights Commission seeks improvement in Nigeria's human rights record. And Belgium government seeks extradition of a Greece suspect believed to be behind plot against Belgian police. But we'll begin tonight with this breaking news. The Minister of Petroleum Resources, Allison-Madueke, has told journalists this evening that the presidency has taken into consideration the global oil price downward slide and has reduced pump price by 10 naira. The pump price, which was 97 naira per litre, is now 87 naira per litre. The Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency has also directed the reflection of the change with immediate effect. Once again, the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Allison-Madueke, told journalists this evening that the presidency has taken into consideration the global oil price downward slide and has reduced the pump price by 10 naira. It was 97 naira per litre before, and now it is set at 87 naira per litre. The Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency says the reflection of the change is with immediate effect. Our correspondent Chukuma Onekusi is still at the presidential villa in Abuja and will be getting back to him with more on this story as soon as possible. However, it is a tragic day in Petition, Yobe State, as 5 people were killed in a fresh suicide bomb attack in northeast Nigeria. The bodies of those killed have been deposited at the Petition General Hospital. As the management says, the suicide bomb attack was carried out by a bomber who disguised himself as a passenger at the Bulala Motor Park in the troubled region. Witnesses said that out of the 41 people involved in the blast, 36 are currently being treated in hospitals. The source also says that the 36 injured, 9 of them have been referred to the federal medical centers in Azare, Bauchi State, and Nguru in Yobe State. The bomber and 4 others are the casualties in the blast. A motor park source also informed Channels Television that a suicide bomber sneaked into Bulala Park, located adjacent to Fika Junction along Bauchi Jos Road, disguised as a passenger, and detonated the explosive device, killing 4 people on the spot. He said the explosion went off around 9:50 this morning at the Bulala Park, and 5 bodies were counted, but many others are lying critical and are being conveyed to nearby hospitals in Petition for immediate medical attention. Well, today's blast is the 3rd within a space of 3 weeks in Petition, the largest commercial city of Yobe State in northeast Nigeria. We do remember a hawker was killed in the first week of January after a blast targeting footballers went off late evening, while 2 female suicide bombers carried out coordinated attacks, killing 8 people in Petition town. Nigeria does not need international sympathy to fight Boko Haram, but technical support is needed. That's the view of some Nigerians who were at the Nigerian High Commission in London to submit a petition against terrorism. Their concern also extends to the elections and to the commitment of both political parties and Nigerians to a peaceful process. Our correspondent Doris Okenwa reports.
What is good for Paris is good for Nigeria.
Nigeria is a country that actually needs the aid at this point in time.
They have called out the international community. Don't cry for Nigeria, they urge. Fight with Nigeria. Support the Nigerian military and help the nation purge the scourge of terrorism.
Nigeria at this point in time needs support with helping our military troops curb the insurgents called Boko Haram.
We appreciate their sympathies. We appreciate their solidarities. But as at this point in time, it goes beyond solidarity. What we want, in essence, is military support. A retired but not tired soldier from Nigerian Army. We come around here to be able to give our support for what they are doing and to boost their morale.
As the son of a retired police officer, I know what it takes for your father and your mother to go out to work and then come back alive.
They also demand that Nigeria's security issues should feature more prominently on the global plan of action.
We want the world to throw their impetus behind our president, our government, our forces.
But also the Nigerians themselves to rally behind the Nigerian troops.
On the forthcoming elections, Nigerians on this end call for more compliance with electoral laws across parties and appeal that violence must be avoided. Doris Okenwa, Channel Television News, London. Well, further south, scores of people are said to have been kidnapped from Maki and Mada villages in Cameroon by Boko Haram members. Witnesses said the villages had come under attack after the militants arrived there early this morning. The Cameroonian information officer, while not confirming a particular number, said there could be between 30 to 50 people who were kidnapped this morning. He also confirmed that about 80 houses were burnt in the attack. Nigeria's neighbors had once pledged to join the fight against Boko Haram, but have been quite reluctant to help in recent times. But the kidnapping does confirm what Nigerian leaders have been saying, that Boko Haram is a regional problem. Well, Chad, on the other hand, one of Nigeria's closest neighbors, has recently offered some of its soldiers to help Cameroon with its fight against the insurgents. Back in the country, houses including a hostel occupied by students of Obafemi Awolowo University have been burned down by some alleged hunters from a shipping community in Osun State. Trouble started over a land tussle between two neighboring communities, Ipetumodu and Ashipa in Ife local government area of Osun State. The clash has made residents flee for safety. The two communities have been spoiling for war for some days now over the alleged land occupation by Ipetumodu for development. The police public relations officer in Osun State, Folashade Odoro, who spoke to our correspondents, says although 20 people have been arrested in connection with the clash, security personnel have been deployed to the warring communities to restore sanity. No lives have been reportedly lost in the attacks, but many are said to have sustained varying degrees of injury. We turn to politics now. The People's Democratic Party says it has every reason to believe that President Goodluck Jonathan remains the best option for Nigerians for now. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Chief Allison-Madueke, said this in a statement released today in Abuja, that the president has shown he's a true Democrat by giving the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the freedom to perform its duties since he became president. He also argues that it is on this record that the president has allowed the judiciary free hand to run more than any other president before him, which is why the courts have been able to remove even serving PDP governors. He advised the opposition parties not to engage in campaign of character assassination, but concentrate on issues. However, it appears there is no middle ground between the APC and the PDP in Rivers State. Both parties have continued to trade blame over the political crisis in the state. That's coming on the heels of the recent explosion that rocked the APC offices in two communities, Okrika and Ngo. Our correspondent Emmanuel Irei reports.
This is the aftermath of the blast to rock the APC office in Ngo in Andoni local government area in Rivers State, barely a week after a similar occurrence at Okrika. Apparently worried by the spate of explosions and other reports of skirmishes in the state, the Commissioner of Police advised the leaders of the political parties to address the issues.
And if we cannot contain the situation now, gentlemen, if we want to become leaders, I don't know who we want to lead. It is not good enough if one person dies because of one power. It is not good enough if anybody sustains injuries or is incapacitated because of desperation for power. It is so bad that my boss even said that in this state now, we don't receive report of partisan robbery. It is because everything has happened and to take politics.
And then the chairman of the APC and the PDP come head-to-head as both parties trade words on who is responsible for the crisis.
There was a time in this state that all big boys belonging to APC were destroyed everywhere. Until there was a time rally somewhere, and Mr. President himself said, APC exists only on big boys, don't destroy the big boys again. And our big boys started having some rest. Who were the people destroying those people? Do we need a native doctor to say who these destroyers are?
The PDP chairman is not taking the accusation sitting down. He says it is the APC that has questions to answer.
The problem we are having in this state today is caused by the APC-led government. I want to further say that the chairman of the APC, who just made a comment now, is trying to divert attention. At every point in time, the key members of PDP are trying to create one man. The next thing they will do is to throw another dynamite or something in their party office to divert attention.
And there is more. In a less tense atmosphere, the resident electoral commissioner in the state tells political leaders that INEC is set to make this year's election successful.
First, we are human beings, we are not God. Therefore, we are imperfect. And the machines we also produce are imperfect. They are bound to be mistakes, commission or commission. But those of you who are affected, and your names appeared, your cards were not there, your cards were there, your names were not there, and from outside position, no name, no card. Therefore, those whose names appeared, but the cards were not there. There was a form of field called incident reporting form. Likewise, those whose cards were there, but their names were not on the register. All these are being taken care of.
As various parties continue to claim political advantage ahead of the February elections, it is hoped that politicians will not pursue political office at the expense of the people. Emmanuel Erei, Channels Television News.
And in part two, after the break, campaigns hot up in Ogun State as the governor visits more towns for votes. Please stay with us.